In this lesson, we'll take a look at the difference between workbook and worksheet, once again a little bit in detail, and also work with zoom option and various types of views that are available. Okay, so whenever you open up Microsoft Excel, you'll notice that it will say on the top center here book 1, which means it's a workbook. Okay, and recall the difference between workbook and worksheet is that workbook contains several worksheets. So whenever you open up Excel, a blank workbook is open, and within this workbook here are the sheets. So right now I have only one particular sheet. I can add another one, which is called sheet 2 here, by clicking on the plus sign, and then click once again to add and continue adding as many sheets as I like. Okay, so sheet 1, sheet 2, and sheet 3 are 3 different think of these as pages within a book, right? So a book that contains 3 pages, and each page may have its own set of calculations, tables, and data. Okay, so here's the basic difference between workbook and worksheet. And these terms are important because as you work with different types of workbooks, multiple workbooks, multiple worksheets, and in future we'll take a look at how to link those together. These will be very handy. Alright, so I have one workbook open at this point. I'm going to go ahead and click on File on the menu and click on New. Okay, so for instance, if I need to create a new workbook or any other, let's say, new project comes in, I can open an existing project if I want to. So this backstage view allows me to create a new workbook. So I'm going to click on New, and this gives me several options. I can click on blank workbook or choose various templates. Okay, these are known as templates, and templates are pre-configured workbooks. Okay, and again, I'll have a whole lesson on templates a little later, but for right now I want to demonstrate how to add or create a new workbook. So click blank workbook and it will open up another Excel environment. So how do you know that that's a new workbook? On the top center it says book 2, so Excel will automatically enter as you open more workbooks. Okay, so here's book 2. If I click on View menu, the ribbon displays the first group as the workbook views, which are again normal, page break, page layout, or I can have a custom view. And recall from the previous lesson, on the bottom right side is also normal, page layout, and page break preview. So again, these tools are simply at this place so that it's easier for you to click on and get things done quickly as opposed to going to the menus. Okay? But in any case, you ought to know where these are from the exam perspective, because on the exam, on the MOS exam for example, they'll give you a set of instructions. So the instructions may say go up to the view menu and change the page layout of your Excel spreadsheet. Okay, so you need to be able to follow these instructions. And just a note here that you must follow the exact instructions that are provided on the exam. Okay, so even though this may sound tempting to use these shortcuts and the tools available on the bottom right, but if the instructions entail that you need to use the menu, then you must use the view menu, and then you click on the any of these workbook view options. Okay, alright, so workbook views are simply different ways you can view your workbook. So for example, if I click on page layout, it changes the layout, gives you a little a ruler on the top, on the left side also, so you can design and customize your workbook. Page break for printing purposes, custom views, you can click on custom views, and you can add and create your own view as well. Okay. Close this dialog box. The next group on the ribbon under the view menu is options such as ruler. If I like to see or display the ruler, which I can see right here on the left on the top, if I uncheck this box simply, it will hide the rulers. If I click on it once again, it will display the rulers. Okay. Likewise, the grid lines, uncheck, check. Formula bar, hide the formula bar, click on the formula bar, and the headings, and so forth. Okay. Zoom, I can zoom in, out 100%, zoom out to selection, and again this zoom is also available on the bottom right corner. Then I have my window group, which has tools such as new window, arrange all, freeze pane, split, hide, or view side by side. So instead of switching back and forth between workbooks, I can click on view side by side and I will display both workbooks, top and bottom. So here's my book 1 and here's my book 2. So all I have to do is just click on to activate that particular workbook and then scroll down to navigate these workbooks. Okay. And similarly in book 1, I can start adding data to this book 1 again. Okay. So these are great. This is a great feature, and notice as I scroll down, my rows change simultaneously. So this is a good way to compare data between two workbooks. And the reason why they scroll together is because I have the synchronous scrolling option. Okay. And I can always reset to window position, and then it will reset or place the documents that you're comparing side by side so they share the screen equally. If I undo the view side by side, it will take me back to my new workbook called book 2. So very easy to navigate between multiple workbooks and how to create a new workbook and working with workbook views. So I hope this helps. Practice, and let's move to our next lesson.